What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams. Happy Wednesday, made it to the middle of the week, and today we're going to be discussing Big Jake as part of our John Wayne Westerns month, starring, of course, the Duke himself, John Wayne, alongside Richard Boone, Patrick Wayne, Maureen O'Hara, Christopher Mitchum, Bruce Cabot, Bobby Vinton, Glenn Corbett, John Ager, and Harry Carey Jr. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for a brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. You've made it halfway through the week, and we've still got so much in store for you, not just this week, but the rest of this month and beyond, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. But first, let's get into today's movie, Big Jake. And our movie takes place in the year 1909, near the United States-Mexico border, where Martha McCandles runs a massive ranch with the help of her sons, Jeff, Michael, and James. When the Fane gang, consisting of the Fane brothers, the DeVries brothers, John Goodfellow, Kid Duffy, Breed O'Brien, Pop Dawson, and Trooper, attack the McCandles ranch, brutally slaying many members of the staff. Jeff McCandles is able to kill the DeVries brothers, but he is badly injured in the process. Jeff's son, Jacob Little Jake McCandles, is then kidnapped before the gang flees to Mexico, leaving behind a ransom note demanding $1 million. Now, Martha places the $1 million into a strong box, and delegates from both the United States Army and the Texas Rangers offer to take the box for her. Instead, Martha decides to send for her estranged husband, Jacob Big Jake McCandles, who wanders the Wild West as a gunfighter with his black, rough collie mix, simply named Dog. Jake arrives and they confer in secret about what to do with the box. Michael McCandles, the youngest son, arrives on a motorcycle with news that he has found the kidnappers. Martha decides to allow him and his older brother James to set off with the Rangers in REO runabouts in order to try and overtake the kidnappers. However, Jake disapproves and sets off with the Strongbox, a mule, pack horses, and his elderly Apache friend, Sam Sharpnose, preferring to do things the old-fashioned way. The kidnappers ambush the Rangers, killing 3 of them and putting the cars out of commission. Jake allows his 2 sons to accompany him, but relations are strained between Jake and James after Jake's long absence from home. However, Michael is delighted to see his father again, and he impresses him with his skill as a sharpshooter, although Jake is kind of put off by Michael's more modern and genteel ways. John Fane, pretending to be only a messenger boy, intercepts the group and he warns them that bandits are now after the box. He tells them that the gang will kill Little Jake if Big Jake, who is pretending to be a hired hand during the encounter, doesn't do things exactly the gang's way. He then proceeds to give them further instructions on where the exchange will take place in the town of Escondero. Upon arrival, the family checks into a hotel and lays a trap for the bandits, killing them. During the attack, the strongbox is accidentally opened, revealing that the money has been replaced by newspaper clippings. Now, both boys believe that Jake has stolen the money until he reminds them of the people that were killed by the Fame game and the fact that their brother Jeff has also been badly and possibly fatally wounded. He tells them that he and Martha, by refusing to pay for that, took the money out. Pop Dawson arrives with the message to meet the gang with the money in an old fort just outside of town. He tells them the rules. They are to ride together and not try anything until after the gang has left with the money, because their own sharpshooter, Duffy, is hidden far away with a rifle aimed directly at little Jake at all times. Big Jake convinces Dawson that Michael was killed by the bandits. So he, James, Sam, and Dog all follow Dawson to the fort. Fane reveals that he is the ringleader and reiterates Dawson's threats. Jake throws the key to Fane while Michael gets into position atop the fort with his own rifle. Just as Fane opens the chest and realizes the deception, Big Jake opens fire and kills Fane's brother, Will, who is holding little Jake. Michael takes out Duffy, Sam kills Trooper, and James shoots down Dawson and O'Brien, but breaks his hand. Fane and Big Jake then find themselves both wounded and in a stalemate from behind their respective hiding places, and Big Jake tells his grandson to run to James. Goodfellow slashes Sam and Dog with his machete, killing the Indian, and then pursues Little Jake into a stable where Dog attacks Goodfellow a second time and is killed. Big Jake, now out of bullets, makes a run for it and kills Goodfellow with the pitchfork in the stables. John Fane then corners the weaponless grandfather and grandson outside of the stable, but Michael, having come down from his perch, shoots Fane from behind. As Fane dies, Big Jake finally reveals his true identity to him and to little Jake, who has never met his grandfather before. Reunited at last, the family acknowledges their newly renewed bond and prepares to go home as our movie comes to its end. This was kind of an atypical, typical John Wayne movie. And what I mean by that is, for the most part, you've got John Wayne being John Wayne, that rough, rugged, tough man, lone wolf, doesn't really show emotion. But then you've got little Jake. And the fact that little Jake is named after him, you've kind of got a little bit of that grandfatherly, paternal kind of love being shown. And it's a side of John Wayne you don't really get in a good chunk of his videos, his movies. And it's going to come back and play a role again when we get to Friday and we talk about the Cowboys. And for that reason, I thoroughly enjoyed this one because it was nice to see a different side of John Wayne. You know, you get so used to this stereotype, this typecasting of the Duke. You know, like I said, the lone wolf, the rough, rugged, raw, emotionless pilgrim. You know, the hired hand, the gun for hire. And he rarely ventures outside of that. So to see this other side of him, you know, trying to rebuild his bond with his sons, trying to get the game that almost fatally killed one of his sons, you know, trying to renew bonds with his other two sons, trying to save his grandson. All of this stuff, you know, in most of the movies we've done, When John Wayne is trying to rescue somebody, he's just doing the side of good. There's very little personal involved. This movie, it gets personal. The Cowboys, it gets personal. And it opens up another dimension to John Wayne that I really enjoyed seeing. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts, because for me, when it comes to Big Jake, I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. This was good. It almost cracked 4 stars, but not quite. 3.5 out of 5 for me when it comes to Big Jake. What do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. And if you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, as we dive back into the vaults for another week of Throwback Thursday. That's right, another week of classic content from the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, J. Hebert 95 Productions, the Simple Man's Brand, and NoDQ.com. Shows like Talk Wrestling, No DQ and AV, the ATW View, the Indie Force Podcast, Stat Boy Rants, the No DQ Review, Dads on Wrestling, Renegade Wrestling, so much more. All in store for you once again this week on Throwback Thursday. And then on Friday, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, we're going to wrap up another week of Renegades Reviews and John Wayne Westerns, this time discussing The Cowboys, starring John Wayne, Roscoe Lee Brown, Bruce Dern, Colleen Dewhurst, Robert Carradine, A. Martinez, and Slim Pickens. But if you think that's all that's in store for you on Friday, think again, as at the top of the hour following The Cowboys, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, it'll be time for our first of 3 watch-alongs this coming weekend. Impact Wrestling Under Siege. The Simple Man Noah Foster, the He-Man James Hebert will be on the call, and you never know what's in store when we do a watch-along. And then, immediately following that, on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, it will be the flagship show for a special Friday edition of Talk Wrestling. And Jeff Meacham has an important announcement. What is it? Tune in on Friday, immediately following our coverage of Impact Wrestling Under Siege, to find out. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media. Throwback Thursday, the Cowboys, Under Siege Watch Along, Talk Wrestling, and that's just the next 2 days. We've still got quite a few days left over in this month. We've still got a week worth of content you don't want to miss out on. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, or anytime we go live, as is the case with Stat Boy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of John Wayne, fans of Maureen O'Hara, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content, this video, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are, in fact, a monetized channel here on the platform. Thank you once again to everybody out there who joined me and tuned in today. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.